Today we are making a Dutch apple crisp. I'm modifying a recipe from Betty Crocker for a Dutch apple pie, and I'm not a big fruit pie person, so we're just gonna drop the crust. So to start, I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees, and first things first, we need to dice up 8 cups of Granny Smith apples. The recipe for the pie says to peel these. I am saving time. I'm a little lazy, and the peel is good for you. So when you dice these up, you kind of just want to make them all a similar size so they all bake at about the same speed, but I'm not going to make you watch all this, so cue the time lapse. Okay, so for me, 8 cups is about 8 apples, and even though I didn't peel them, you can peel them, wash them beforehand, however you do it. Get all of your apples into a large mixing bowl. We're going to add a half cup of white sugar, a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. I'm using whole wheat. And I do not recommend scooping your flour out for most baked goods, but today I'm saying is an exception because the flour in this is just to coat the apples and it's going to thicken the juices. So the precise measurement is flexible. Plus, I think the whole wheat flour will give a nice little nuttiness to the apple crumble, and I don't even know if you're going to be able to tell much of a difference either way. We're also going to add a healthy teaspoon of ground cinnamon. More is more. And let me bring my cutting mat back out. We're going to add a tablespoon of lemon juice, and this can also be a rough measurement. This just helps to keep the apples from, that was possibly a bad idea because I don't know if mistakes have been made. Squirted seeds. Don't squirt your seeds into your apples. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for those. Hopefully it was just the one. I'm sure we may have seen them when we play this video back, but either way. Okay, we're gonna toss these all together. Make sure you scrape all the way down to the bottom of your bowl because some of the sugar might be hanging out there. But once you have coated your apples, we're going to get out our baking dish. Normally, I use my cast iron Dutch oven, but currently it is preoccupied. So we're using a 9x13 casserole dish, which you can also use, and I'm using a disposable one because I'm bringing this to work, and I just want to be able to leave it there and not worrying about bringing it home. So pour your apples. You can grease or line your pan, but that would just be for like easy cleanup. I'm really not worried about the apples sticking, and you don't have to worry about a crust sticking. So I'm just gonna pour mine in. And I don't think I greased my 9x. I've made this recipe multiple times, and I don't think I greased my Dutch oven maybe the first time I did it. So level out your apples. And another thing with cutting them, you want them kind of bite-sized, so it's easier to eat. I'm gonna set this aside, just out of the way, so we can make our topping. So in a medium bowl, we're going to take, and again, I'm using whole wheat flour, and again, I'm being a bad measurer. We need 1 cup of flour. The reason you shouldn't scoop is because you end up with more flour than you intend because flour packs down. We need a 1/2 cup of butter softened, not melted, definitely not cold. Even though a lot of crumb toppings that you may be familiar with do say to cut in cold butter, but this one says softened, and that's how it goes. We need a 1/3 cup of oatmeal, 2/3 of a cup of packed brown sugar, light or dark, 1 tablespoon of white sugar. Why? I don't know. And then I'm just gonna add a small pinch of salt. So you can do this part with your hands, you can use a pastry blender. I'm going to use a knife, a fork would work, but you're going to cut the butter in until you get a wet sand, crumbly mixture. Oh, I do this every time. The white sugar is supposed to go on top, not in the crumble mixture. It's fine. It still tastes delicious every time I mess it up. So you see how it's starting to come together a little bit? All the dry ingredients are slowly clinging to the butter. All right, once you have small, like pea-sized wet sand, now we're just going to sprinkle it all over the top of our apples. And I would like to report I didn't see any more lemon seeds as I poured my apples into the pan. So make sure you get a nice even coating all over. Now just imagine this amount of crumble on top of a single pie, which surface area is much smaller than this. Amazing. This needs to be broken up though. Use your hands to even it out if you need to. And now this is when you're supposed to sprinkle that tablespoon of sugar over the top. I will clearly define this in the instructions in the description. But now we bake this again in our 400-degree oven for 45 to 50 minutes, or until the topping is a deep golden and the filling begins to bubble. Let me just tell you, it smells so good in this house right now. Mine cooked for 45 minutes. Because the 9x13 is shallower than my Dutch oven, 45 minutes was plenty. See, nice golden brown. The bubbling has kind of stopped, but it was bubbling when I took it out just a moment ago, so this is gonna cool. I've made this many times. I'm not gonna do a taste test with you guys, but let me just tell you, you don't need to light a candle. You just need to bake this Dutch apple crisp. This would be great with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. And I would say let this cool a while before you eat it, because cooling will let everything kind of firm up and then it won't be as soupy when you go to scoop it out. I will leave the ingredients down below in the description along with all of the instructions. If you think this recipe would be delicious, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe for more content, and if you want another delicious fall recipe, go ahead and click here on screen and I will see you guys there.